Good evening, fiends. Welcome to another episode of Sinister Parlour Podcast. I'm Zombie Barbie, and tonight I have a very special guest, director, writer, producer, and incredible fucking actor, Todd Jenkins. Hey.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I was like, who's she talking about?
You're like, who's that guy?
Who's the special guest? Oh, it's me.
We have another guy coming on here in a second.
Yeah. Awesome. I won't have to carry it myself.
Right?
I thought you were a great actor. You're bombing right now, dude.
You really are good, though. Like, everything that I watch you in, you are so natural. And I always, since I'm in the business, I watch all of that stuff, and it just flows. It just seems natural, and that's really hard to do.
It is hard to do. And that's because you haven't seen any of my early work. If you were to go back 15 years or so ago, you can see a lot of the shitty movies I was in.
We all start somewhere, though,
I look
right?
totally different then, so you probably wouldn't even know it was me.
Well, I was looking at your movie,
People,
and your hair was like,
if I ever become famous, they'll dig that shit up on me. They'll be like, remember how bad you sucked when you were in this movie? And I'm like, yes, I remember.
oh, that's sad. People are dicks.
Hey, you got to start somewhere. Well, I didn't start out in the business like most people. I didn't I've never taken an acting class, even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no dreams or aspirations of being an actor. It was just like an accidental thing that happened to me.
Oh, how did it happen?
You want, okay.
Yeah, I want the story.
Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie Office Space?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was working at a life insurance company, and I worked on computers, and our job was a lot like the movie Office Space, where they started coming in and interviewing us
Mm-hmm.
and asking us what we did and stuff. And the reason they were doing that is because they were going to sell the company. So when they sold the company, they all had a meeting with us and said, hey, we don't know what we're going to do with any of you people, but if you'll just hang out for the next year and a half, if we for some reason can't find a job for you, or we end up laying you off or getting rid of you, we'll give you this awesome severance package. So for that whole year and a half, we didn't do jack shit. We played hacky sack, some of the stuff that I talked about in the movie, in Cherokee Creek. Guys were having sex, including me, on the job.
Oh my gosh.
Anything I could do. And then I would get on dating websites and play video games. I mean, anything we could do, because there was absolutely no work to be done. We just literally went there every day and sat in this storage room where there was computers, where they stored all the computers, and then we would get online and just find ways to goof off and stuff. So I was on a dating website, and this lady was like, hey, you should come and be an extra in a Chuck Norris movie. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I went and did it, and the rest is history.
Shit, that's cool. Fuck yeah.
So I had no idea that I love movies, and I was a huge movie collector, and I went to movies to see the newest movie every Friday night. I was a huge movie fan, but I didn't know that I would ever be able to get in the business or work as an actor or director or any of those things.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
But after that day, I fell in love with it. Once I was on set and I got to see how everything worked, I was like, man, I think I could do this for a living, because if my job ends up going away, what the hell am I going to do? Because I've been here for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when that job went away, I was like, I'm just going to go into the film industry full speed ahead. And that's what I've done ever since.
That's fucking awesome. See, I like stories like that, where it's just it's just a whole completely different story than, my dream was to be an actor. I went to LA, I gave up everything, and I started doing auditions. It's cool to hear how it just randomly happened.
It just randomly happened.
That's awesome. So
total freaking accident.
Yeah. And look at you now. Now you're in big movies. That's badass. What made you want to start writing?
It's great to be in some bigger movies now. I love it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Set?
What made you decide, so you were acting, but what made you decide you wanted to write movies and direct them and do everything?
I didn't want to write movies. I still don't want to write movies. The reason I had to write the movie was I couldn't find a script that I wanted to put my money into, or just put everything into. I just couldn't find a script. A lot of the scripts I was reading, I wasn't into them, or they were too big of a budget.
Mm-hmm.
So I was everything I've done is kind of you're forced to do it, right? It wasn't I wanted to learn how to be a DP, learn how to light, or any of that stuff. I didn't want to learn all that, but I was kind of forced to, because we didn't have the kind of budget that we needed to hire those people.
Mm-hmm.
And then even when we did have the budget on other projects, they were like, oh man, I don't want to do this movie. This is too raunchy. It's got too much language. It's got nudity. I don't want to do it. So I was like,
pussies.
Really? Yeah. Pussies. You guys are going to worry about what's in the movie? Like you're not going to take the money and just do the job? And they wouldn't. So I was like,
wow.
Okay. Cause a lot of guys were like, they were kind of like the guy in the movie. They were whipped by their women and they were like, dude, my woman will like break up with me or divorce me if I work on your movie. And I was like, are you fucking shitting me?
You're like, it's mostly dicks. Why would she break up with you?
I'm the one doing everything. Like I had to do all the most nudity and the most graphic stuff was me. So I thought it was weird that all these guys were like, no, man, if I'm around any tits or anything, my wife or girlfriend will break up or divorce me. So I was like, well, fuck it then. I'll just have to learn how to do everything.
So, well, you did a damn good job too.
I did. I think that's the reason the movie got finished and I like it so much is because it was one of those things where Murphy's Law was happening every single day and it just became this huge shit show. So I was like, no matter what, I'm going to fucking finish this movie. It's like, it's all I'm living for is to finish this movie. No matter what obstacles happen, I'm going to finish this fucking thing. So that was what it was like every single day on the movie. There was always some crazy obstacle that you had to get through. So when people watch it, they're like, man, it looks like you guys had the greatest time ever. And I was like, no. We were having a very hard time filming the movie, and it was one of the coldest winters we've had here in Texas in a long time when we were filming. And I think it was like probably there was times it was in the single digits. So it was really rough on us.
What year was it? Was it 2013 that you did it?
Oh God. When we filmed it, it wasn't that long ago. Probably 3 years ago. I mean, I'd have to actually look.
Because I was
look at my photos.
See what the date says. Ago. Yeah, because I was down there to work on a short film, and it was.
Back, but I can't even cheat on my phone right now because this is a new phone and it doesn't have the pictures on it. So I'm like, shit.
Oh man, I hate that. But yeah, I was in Texas a few years back, and filming a short film, and it was fucking freezing. I remember the director saying, "This isn't normal. It's not normally like this," and it was so cold. So I wonder if it was the same year.
That was probably the same time then.
It was horrible.
I mean, there's times at Christmas here it's like 75, so it was probably the same year.
I bet.
When you start getting into like 10 degrees and 8 degrees, that's really rare for this area.
Yeah, it was so cold and it was windy, and
it was rough. I mean, it was very rough, and I was sick the whole time. I had the flu and I was vomiting and everything. If there was a COVID-19, everyone would have said I had it for sure back then.
Oh, right. You never know. It could have been here.
Working with me because I was just so fucking sick. I had a fever. I had everything. But people knew that I'd already spent my money. I mean, when you're doing a film and the money's been spent and it's your money, you can't just postpone it and come back another day.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying for locations, you're paying actors, you're paying for time. You can't get it back. So you either shoot or you don't. So thankfully everybody was okay working through it.
God, I'm amazed you could work through it because I mean, that's bad.
It is bad, but you just don't have a choice.
And now you have a good story. You're like, I was sick as fuck. It was freezing. And I thought I was going to die. And I finished this motherfucking movie.
Yep. That's why I tell people, I mean, I don't want to hear your fucking excuses because they're always like, well, this family member got sick. This family member died. We had so many deaths with everybody in the movie. We had people dying left and right. I think I lost my dad, my aunt, my uncle. I lost a lot of people.
Oh my gosh.
And then my mom was in ICU after she did the scene that's in the movie. She was in ICU for almost 3 months with pneumonia.
Oh my gosh.
So she wasn't in ICU the whole 3 months, but she was in the hospital for a really long time.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 3 months. It was probably a total of like 6 to 8 weeks or something. It was a ridiculous amount of time.
God, poor thing. And she's the one that said something like, you motherfuckers, or what'd she say?
Yeah, she's the one that says, kissing ass is out of style, lay down and I'll shit in your mouth.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she actually would say that from time to time. So I was like, man, I got to put that in the movie. That'd be funny. Because she dropped it on me one day when she found out I was doing this movie. She was like, hey, can I act in your movie? And I was like, oh boy, how do you tell your mom no?
Oh, that's
I can't tell her no. So I was like, okay, I'll write something. And she's like, I'm really good at cussing people out. And I said, yeah, I know. So I'll write something where you cuss somebody out. Let me think about it for a minute. So that's where I came up with the idea to put her in the kidnapper scene.
That was awesome. She's a cool lady then, if that's really how she is. That's badass.
Oh yeah, she's super cool. Super cool.
Oh, well, good. Well, I guess we didn't even really say the name. So the movie we're talking about is Cherokee Creek. We just started talking about it. We didn't really say the name of it.
I thought I did, but I may have forgotten.
Maybe you did for a second.
Knows what we're talking about here, but yeah, Cherokee Creek is the movie.
Yes, everybody has. I ended up finally buying it. So I've rented it a few times and then I bought it because you have to own that movie. That movie is so fucking good. It's funny. It's entertaining.
So you got the actual Blu-ray then?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay,
cool. Yeah, and I've already watched it.
You saw all that controversial shit we said at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't realize those were real stories either when you guys were in the van talking about shit until Billy told me.
Almost everything. There's a lot of stuff in the movie those are all true stories, just about all of them. Besides the Bigfoot part. I mean, obviously, Bigfoot didn't show up and rip off anybody's cock or anything, but everything else is pretty much happened at some point in my life or Billy's life or, someone we know. And a lot of those characters are based on people I grew up with and that I'm friends with. So
yeah. Oh man.
That's why I think it's funny when they're like, this guy who wrote the script, he's writing about characters that are just unbelievable. Like, I can't believe there's people like that. I'm like, yes, there is.
Oh yeah.
All those characters exist. Even the Caroline character exists. I do know some girls that are like Caroline.
Yeah.
And the Pat character as well.
Pat was fucking funny. He was an ass. Oh wait, no.
That's Chad. Actually, Chad's the raging atheist guy.
Yeah. Okay. So he was an asshole, but Pat was actually really funny. And like when he passes out, I fucking kept rewinding that part when you guys scare the shit out of him. I rewound it because he's just like
we didn't know that was going to happen. I don't know if you knew that or not, but we didn't know that scene was going to happen that way. I think we were trying to figure it out. And he goes, hey, I got an idea. Let's just try something and see what happens. They're like, all right, we'll see what you can do with it. So we kicked in the door and then all that scene is improv.
Really?
Yeah.
That was good.
So it was good that we stayed in the moment and we got through it. It's funny too, because a lot of people don't realize my cat that had passed away, Jinx, is the name. I named my cat Jinx after my nickname growing up. And he's actually on the guy's lap that's on the toilet. Okay. And I put that in the movie because for some reason, I don't know if you have any pets, but the pets always, if you ever go to take a dump, all the animals want to come in.
They're all inside. Anytime I go anywhere in the house.
They always want to come in the bathroom.
Yep. They'll wait outside the shower. They'll wait outside the shower when I'm showering. So I have to put a little bed in there for one of mine, and she'll lay on my robe or the towel, and she'll wait until you shower. Yeah. When you're doing your makeup, they come in. Well, you don't do makeup, but when I'm doing my makeup, they come in. If I have to go to the bathroom, they're in there. It's like, holy shit, you're like children.
They are. My cat, one of my cats is in here right now. The other one probably wishes that she was in here, but yeah, but my wife is in there too to catch the cat when we didn't know he was going to throw the cat up like that. We didn't know what was going to happen with the cat, but he had the cat in his lap. We kicked in the door. He throws the cat. I mean, you almost have to go frame by frame or you'll miss the cat. And then my wife catches the cat, holds the cat, and then he's got his pants like hanging down. You can see his ass and balls and all that stuff. So it was like, okay. So that we had no idea that was going to happen, but we used 100% of it in the movie. It was all one improv take.
Damn. How did you not laugh and like have to cut?
I guess me and Billy were just staying in the moment. You know, I was like, we knew what he did was so good. We're probably thinking to ourselves, let's don't fuck this up.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in it, stay with it. And the funny thing is the guy who, the young kid in the movie who is dressed in the Bigfoot costume, he was actually running the camera on that. And that was his first day to ever run a camera.
Oh, wow.
He actually shot us running in to do the kidnapping too. Like that running Steadicam looking shot that's in the movie when we jump out of the van.
Yeah.
He got that too. So, I mean, I was really hard on him and everybody because they had never done anything like that before. But I was like, you got to do it. We got to get it done like ASAP and all this stuff. And he did an awesome job.
Yeah, he did. That was
That's
one
how
thing.
everything was. It was like everybody was learning as we would go. If there was any actors that were standing around on set or anything, I'd be like, hey, can you bring me that light? Can you help with the microphone? Can you do this? Sometimes they would, but sometimes they weren't there. Like near the end of the movie, it was basically me with just setting up the camera and the lights and then putting the mic on a stand to get all the audio, like that stuff of Billy and the Pat character at the end of the movie where they're in the van and they're running from Bigfoot and all those scenes. There was absolutely nobody out there on those days. It was just me and them.
Oh, wow. So you were doing everything.
It got to the point where there was like nobody helping anymore because the movie had been going, our schedule was so crazy and it was just so cold and everybody was going off and doing other movies and other projects. So it was like, well, I guess it's just me and you guys tonight. Let's go see what we can get.
Wow.
But we always got really good stuff. So we were shocked to see how good it turned out.
Yeah. A lot of it turned out, well, the whole fucking movie turned out great. I mean, it's so good. I'm really glad that I met you guys because it's cool to, a lot of movies you don't know about until you either, see it on Facebook or Instagram. And I think that's how I found you guys. Somehow I found you on Instagram. I'm like, I got to check this shit out. And it was so good.
I probably found you guys. I think I was always looking for people who liked horror films and liked the genre. So I would spend like 8-12 hours a day seeking out people that I thought that might like the movie. And then I would follow them and hopefully they'd follow me back. And then they would check out the movie and then we would become friends after that.
Yeah.
And so that's probably how it happened. Or maybe I was advertising on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. I don't know. Because what I'll do is, I'll find like a movie, and then I'll follow it, and then I'll kind of go through and see like who the directors are and the actors and stuff. And I follow them, and then I just start following their work from there. Social media is great.
That's awesome. It can be great. It can be. It's getting a little. It's gotten almost too controlling though in the last year or two. Like I don't really trust it anymore.
But
true too. When I first started doing the movie stuff and marketing the movie, it was really good. It was a good tool. But now it's like, there's times that they find some of my posts offensive when I don't even do anything. Like I could literally just post a picture of the movie poster or a still frame from the movie, and they'll be like, "Hey, you can't be doing this. You're violating the rules of Facebook." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, you're like, "Go fuck yourself."
Right. Like we actually had one picture with like Santa Claus holding up our movie because we had done a commercial with Santa Claus with our movie, and they had said that was inappropriate, and I was like, "What?"
Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, I'm seeing like all these weird advertisements for like porn stuff and like penis attachments and all kinds of stuff.
Yep. Wish. Have you seen all this shit on Wish?
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird how
that's what I'm talking about. Wish.
Yeah. Gross shit's on there.
They don't get blocked at all for any of the Wish stuff, man. The Wish stuff is crazy. And nothing happens to them. But yeah, I think it's just kind of like the whole Amazon thing because we're not a studio. So they can just kind of treat you like shit if they want to.
Oh, yeah. Well, considering Wish probably pays them to have any advertising.
I still get emails from Amazon saying our movies.
That your movie's
right,
what?
Exactly. I said, even on Amazon, they're still saying that they refuse to ever put it on streaming services because it violates their rules and regulations that they don't allow nudity or gore or any of that in their movies that stream on Amazon.
Oh, geez. That's fucking such bullshit.
Which we know is total bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, every movie you have on there has got nudity and gore in it. What are you talking about? Even your self-produced movies that y'all have on there.
Yeah.
They have like different series of movies on there that they actually produce that have plenty of sex and violence and gore. But I mean, it's just a hypocritical thing. And it's definitely them discriminating against independent filmmakers,
Yep. Well,
they don't care how much. I mean, I tell people all the time. I was like, even if they make $50,000 off your indie film, or they make $100,000 off, they don't care because they're making millions off of everybody else's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. We're kind of in limbo right now, trying to figure out how to get the movie back out because all their business partners, we don't know who's even still in business after this whole COVID-19 thing. And so I've been a little wary of that.
Yeah. I know this COVID thing.
We would definitely like to get the movie back out on all the platforms.
I'm trying to think where I rented it. I thought I rented it. Where's it 99 cents at? Isn't that Amazon?
It's on Amazon for 99 cents, but back in the day, it was on all of them for 99 cents. It was also on iTunes. We did really well on iTunes.
And then iTunes pulled it
iTunes
too?
was my favorite platform to be on, honestly.
Aww.
No, I had to pull it. I had to go in
Oh.
and fight for the rights to get the movie back because the company that iTunes and all them were working with was stealing all the money from us.
Okay, that was the distributor, right?
No. The weird thing is it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a distribution company or you're just doing one movie. They require you go through what they call an aggregator, who basically represents the movie to those companies.
Okay, so
It's basically like having an agent. Like if you're an actor, you have to have an agent,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't pay you directly. They pay the agent, then the agent pays you.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they were the middleman that was taking your check, and then they were supposed to keep track of the accounting and then pay us. Well, they kept track of the accounting and kept it.
Okay. So I kind of.
So that's why I try to explain it to people. It's basically like if you had an agent, right, and they get you on this movie, and your agent has like thousands of clients, and then that year, the studio pays the agent for all the actors, and then none of the actors got paid because the agent stole all the money and just closed up shop.
Okay.
So we didn't really have a choice. We didn't want to go with any other company, but they won't work with you. Like you can't call iTunes up and say, put my movie on there.
Yeah.
There's no one you can contact through iTunes. They're going to tell you, like, this is a group of people that we work with. Choose one of them. And that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
We just chose one of the people they work with. So.
Because you didn't really have a choice.
It just we just made the wrong choice.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's hard to know,
it
too.
was just
you
like if you go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, right, you don't know. It's never happened in the history of the industry where something like that happened. Now, distribution companies rip off filmmakers all the time.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But this is a whole different thing where these people were just in charge of checking the movie for quality control and handling the accounting. That's really all they did. And they were the middleman between us and the digital platforms. Like we can't talk to the platforms, but they could talk to the platforms for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's really stupid. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why we shouldn't have a relationship directly with iTunes or Amazon or any of those companies. You should be able to contact them directly, but
I think so too.
It doesn't work that way. Like even Shudder, Netflix, all those guys, you have to go through a producer rep. You have to get a rep, like a sales agent that can pitch the movie to them, or another distribution company, or an aggregator. So you're always having to jump through more and more middlemen that you have to pay a huge percentage of your profits to get on the platforms. It sucks.
Jeez, they make it so hard. Unless you're a big time studio, they make it fucking impossible.
They make it almost impossible. That's why I always tell filmmakers, I'm like, I know you want to make a movie, but what are you going to do with it? Like, they don't think that far. They're just like, oh, I'm excited. I'm going to make a movie and it's going to come out everywhere and I'm going to make millions of dollars. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's
not that easy. If it was, we'd all be rich.
I wish it was. It was way easier back in the day, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think when they made Blair Witch Project, I think they took that to Sundance and they sold it for like $1 million to Lionsgate or something like that. But those days are kind of far gone, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man. Well, so you are in a new big time movie though. What is it called? What just released? Infamous.
Yeah, just open everywhere. I think it might be worldwide. I know it's nationwide on the 12th. June 12th. We had a big little, not a big, but we had a party over here at my place, a screening party. And as soon as it went live on iTunes, we all watched it. It was awesome. And just getting to watch it with the friends and family and watching them cheer on the different scenes. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. It was so good. Like I was telling you before we were recording, I rented it on, I think Friday night. It was so awesome. Fucking good. I had a massive migraine and I stayed up just to watch it.
Well, I appreciate you checking it out. It's funny how many people have been calling me to come on since they heard about the movie, but none of them watched it yet. So I was like, well, it's kind of hard to have me on and talk about the movie if you didn't watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been excited.
What are we going to talk about then?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is Cherokee Creek,
Yeah,
we could go on forever.
Really good. I like it a lot. I know it's you're going to get haters with every movie.
Oh yeah.
The thing that I don't get these days, if anybody, even with our movie Cherokee Creek or these other independent horror movies, people don't understand that we're independent movies. They don't even know what that means. They always want to compare these independent movies to studio movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, by studio movies, I mean major movies that had like a $50 million to a $200 million budget. They want us to be delivering movies of that caliber. And I'm like, dude, we have nothing. Like someone like hands you this and goes, hey, go make a movie,
Mm-hmm.
And if you make a badass movie with that, I think that should count for something. But a lot of people are like, oh man, this sucks compared to this $50 million movie. And we're like, yeah, we know it's not the same.
Yeah.
Thanks for noticing.
You're like, no shit,
but I'm
assholes.
a huge fan of independent stuff. I always liked, what was it, Evil Dead.
Oh
and
yeah.
then I was a huge fan of like Clerks, how Kevin Smith did Clerks.
Love
I
Clerks.
love that movie. Swingers, I thought that was a really good movie back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the fact that they do those movies. It's really a huge challenge to try to create something that has great production value, good acting, and a story, and it's edited well when you have absolutely nothing to do it with.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought the movie was great, but I think some people have tried to compare Infamous to like Natural Born Killers or something, and I'm like, dude, that's not even in the same ballpark.
No.
Not even the same storyline. That's a totally different movie.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was all really well done. So I didn't even so it's an independent movie.
Yeah, it started out as I
Oh.
think it was a 100% independent movie, and then they sold the rights to Vertical Entertainment, from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. That's what they do for a lot of these movies that are like, if they have a budget less than $5 million or less than $2 million sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the budget on the movie was, but I was very blown away with it when I saw it. I was very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everybody did a great job. I thought the
Yeah.
director did an awesome job. All the acting in it, I thought was solid.
Yeah, it was super good. And even the music, I listen to the music as well on like all movies, even on Cherokee Creek, all your background music I was listening to. And I'm like, that is really well placed. And it sounds perfect for each scene that you put that, the music in there.
Thank you. Yeah, that's another thing people don't realize. Normally to get music done that way would probably cost you anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 to have a score done, and then to have someone actually sell you their songs. I mean, they can, for a well-known song, they could charge you up to $50,000 just per song.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But people don't know any of that. They don't know how hard it is. You got to go out there, beg, borrow, and steal to basically get anyone to help you with music or songs or anything. That's one of the things that takes the longest time, is trying to find the songs. I know just trying to get the songs for Cherokee Creek took forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was some I just thought, I was like, God, I'm never going to find them. The original scenes where the girls were dancing around the campfire,
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 live crew in there at one time.
Oh.
Pop That Pussy was the song I had. It was such a great song, and I had it edited so well. And then I had Duran Duran song in there, Hungry Like a Wolf.
Uh-huh.
I edited it to that. It was like every time I would pick a song, I would cut it and make it look awesome. And then I could never get the rights to the damn song. And I was like, no one wants to work with me on this.
Oh, that's sad.
Because I'm like everybody else. I'm like, oh man, if I cut this scene to their song, and those songs haven't been around in a long time, maybe they'd be willing to give us a discount to just, get it back out there in circulation.
Yeah.
But it's almost impossible to even get in chart or in contact with all these people.
Mm-hmm. So what song did you end up using?
Oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot. Now the song is I used both of this guy's songs. The name of his band is Brain Claw, I think. I better check that. See what happens when you put me on the spot. Man, my brain is not functioning anymore. I'm gonna say it's Brain Claw. And the funny thing about that is early on, he had sent me some songs and was like, hey, check these out. If you'd like to put them in the movie, you can, and I was like, okay, cool. And I heard them, and they didn't really fit. But then as I started thinking about it more and more, and I didn't get clearance for those other songs, I was like, dude, I'm just going to go through his catalog on iTunes and listen to more of his songs.
Mm-hmm.
And that was how I found the ones that worked for the Dick Bar. I used one of his songs in the Dick Bar too. I mean, it got to the point I was creating songs myself, using the software on my computer, trying to write and create songs on my own, and I'm not even a musician.
Oh,
So
fuck.
thank God it worked out, and I was able to use it.
The dick bar.
I'm gonna go with Brain Call though, being the name. I just
Okay.
don't remember the names of the songs.
Oh, shit, that's funny. Well, and
It's
then
been a few years.
it has. Well, and then like the background sounds, like when you guys are all creeping around the forest, was that someone's music or is that something you put together? It was kind of like,
That was actually the score that's in the movie was written by John Massari, who did the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, I'm a fan of Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Me too.
And I met him on a couple other projects, and I said, hey man, I don't want to have to try to write the music for this movie. So if you take a look and you might be interested, let me know. And he loved the movie. He's like, dude, I can do so much movie if you'll give me a shot at helping you. And I was like, of course. We would love to have your help.
You're like, I will not say no. Yeah, that was good.
I'm not saying no to you, man. You don't have to convince me. I feel like I got to convince you.
That's awesome. Okay.
But we didn't have to convince each other. I mean, it was great. I was a fan of his work, and I knew some of his other movies he had done, and it worked out. Thank God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was perfect. It fit perfect. So with Infamous, is that the part that you auditioned for? Like, did they give you that audition and then you went in and that's what you got? Or did you try for something different? Like, how did that all come about?
I tried for something different. I think at the original time, me and Billy were reading for that same role, the one that he got.
Oh.
And I remember him telling me he got it, and I was pissed off.
I'm sure.
The thing that people don't understand is me and Billy are friends, and I'm friends with lots of actors. But when you're trying to pay your rent and you're going into an audition room, you got a book. That's all there is to it. And they always read me and Billy against each other, almost all the time. But we help each other too. Like a lot of times, if I read for something or I know of a movie that's going on, I'll let him know. I'll go, hey, and I usually help him with his auditions too. Like if he comes to my studio and then we'll work on his scenes, and I'm the one that usually sends his auditions off to the studios and to his agents and managers and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, my job is to help him book as much as he can because it helps us both. So it's just coincidental. Sometimes he'll get the audition first, and then I might get it like 5 days later, or I'll get it first, and then he gets it 5 days later. We never know when it's going to happen. And sometimes we get them the same day. So when he got it and I didn't get it, I was like, fuck, I wanted to be in that movie so bad. It sounded like such a cool concept. So I thought it was over. I thought that was it. And then I don't know if they had a bigger name in the role that I auditioned for or what happened. But luckily, I got a call probably, I guess, like a week after Billy told me he had booked it. And they said, hey, we got another role we want you to read for. And I was like, oh, my God, that'd be awesome. What is it? And they told me, and I was like, man, this is an awesome role. And I got a call back from my agent that day saying, hey, the director likes you, the casting likes you, but they can't pull the trigger on the deal yet. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And I think it took like a month before they pulled the trigger on me. So I was like, dude, what happened?
Wow.
Why did I not hear anything? So I was nervous as hell forever because I really wanted that role. It sounded like a lot of fun to get to shoot the shotgun and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they finally called and hired me, but I was sweating that one. Every once in a while, most of the stuff you audition for, you just kind of have to forget about it and go,
yeah,
who knows what's going to happen because it's just such a crapshoot. But that one I really wanted. So I would check in with my agent probably every 7 to 10 days going, hey, did you hear anything? She's like, no, they haven't said anything yet. So I don't know if they were waiting on a bigger name or if they just hadn't pulled the trigger. I don't know. I'm just really thankful that Joshua Caldwell, the director, and everybody who fought for me to get that part did.
Oh, good.
I love it.
Yeah.
So happy to be a part of the movie.
You did great. It was so good. And like I said, it was so flawless. Like it was so natural. And I kept watching. I was like, oh my God, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? And I don't know like what I don't
ever know what I'm going to do. The funny thing is we didn't really rehearse that scene very much.
Oh.
We just did it. There's something to that though. I think when you don't there's a lot of people that love to do all these rehearsals and over rehearse. And I think there's something that keeps it more natural when you just go for it. You don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'd even shot a shotgun before.
Looked like you had. You did great.
I'm thankful that it does look great. You know, there might be some professional marksman or somebody who actually knows more about guns than I do that watches it and goes, what the hell are you doing? But, you know, I take that back. I think I shot a shotgun in another movie once. But it was many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime you're dealing with guns, it's a nerve-wracking situation. You got to be very careful with guns. There's been so many people injured and killed on movie sets from guns. So you have to be, I don't care what it is. You have to treat every gun as if it's a real gun. I don't even care if it's a rubber gun. They will freak out on you and fire your ass if you're playing with it.
Yeah.
So I always make sure I'm very careful with the guns. Even when I did the TV show MacGyver, I constantly had to check the gun. Like every time they say action cut, someone takes the gun away from you, whoever who's in charge of the gun. And then you have to check it again to make sure that there's been no live rounds put in it at all. Not in the magazine, not in the barrel. You got to keep constantly checking it all day long and never stop checking it.
Yeah.
Because you just never know. I mean, you got someone's life in your hands and you're sitting there playing around with this thing because people don't realize, even though you're shooting blanks, something does come out sometimes.
Yeah.
Some things that come out. And if you were to just take that blank and stick it to your head, it would probably still kill you.
Oh, fuck. God, that's scary.
I was in another movie where they were shooting shotguns, and the stuff that was coming out was so much it like blew up a sign that was in front of them.
Whoa!
It was like a sign that was like 5 feet in front of the blast of the gun, and it just completely blew the sign away.
Holy shit!
So I was like, "Yeah, don't point those damn guns at me and shoot them because I don't know what's coming out of there or what damage it can do."
Yeah. Well, even Brandon Lee on The Crow, he got shot and killed.
Yeah, that's a scary story, man. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie though. That's one of my favorites.
Me too. And I loved him.
I love The Crow. He was so good in The Crow.
So good. So sad.
I dressed up as The Crow a couple times for Halloween. I always like it when you got the hair just hanging in the face and it looks all scary and shit.
That's awesome.
I love it. I actually almost got in a fight with a guy just like that. I bet he was probably like, what the fuck is going on?
You guys were all fighting.
It was scary, man. It was a scary situation. It was one of those places where you park and it says don't pay the parking attendant, but this one time they had a parking attendant and he didn't identify himself as a parking attendant. He just came up and started like cussing us out, saying we owed him all this money and you know, we better fucking give it to him and all this stuff. And he seemed like a guy who was trying to steal it from us.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't, like I said, he never identified who he was. So that was a scary story because I ended up grabbing him and it wasn't a good situation. There was a little bit of grapple there that I let him know if he continued to fuck with us, it wasn't going to be good for him.
Oh shit.
But I was like, dude, like, I mean, what could have happened in that situation? You don't know.
Yeah.
But I think he was from another country, so he didn't really understand how it worked here.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a really thick accent, so just everything about it
just seemed shady.
So wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, it did not.
You're like, you're not in jail today. Good job.
Right. That's the scary part, man, because you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could go south. I mean, someone could pull a knife, a gun, and one of you gets injured or killed, and then you got to live with that. So that sucks.
Yeah. Yep.
That's one of the things I do a lot. If you remember in the movie, there's like a dick bar owner, manager guy that comes out and bangs on the window of the girl.
You have 3 drinks and lap dances.
Yeah, he runs an awesome. He runs this awesome tactical training school where he teaches people how to shoot and gunfight and shit. It's awesome.
Oh shit, that's cool.
So I've been to that, and you learn how much you suck at shooting because you think, I'm going to be a badass with a gun. And then you learn, oh, man, I don't even know how to hold it right. They teach me a lot in those classes. I learned a lot. That's probably one of the few classes I've taken in my life that had anything to do with the film industry. And that was because he kind of made me.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that he did because I learned a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he also trained Jeremy Renner on some of his movies too, if you know who that is.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. That's fucking cool. Damn.
Yeah, it is cool.
Shit.
So if you ever get a chance to go over to I think he does traveling and stuff and trains people in different states, but he also his home base I think is over in Camden, Tennessee actually.
Oh, dang.
I think that's near Nashville. Not sure.
I have no idea.
Camden, Tennessee. Does that make sense?
No. I'm like, I don't know
I
where
suck
that's
at
at.
geography as well.
So do I. I had
But we'll just say it's in Tennessee somewhere.
somewhere in Tennessee, we think.
Somewhere in Tennessee. Those guys are badasses, man. There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those guys. Did you ever see the movie Daylight's End?
Daylight's End? I don't know. It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've seen it or not. Who's in it?
I'll send you the info for it. You got to check that one out. That was one I did crew on and stunts. It's a really good action horror film.
Oh shit! Yeah, send me the link for sure.
It's like a shoot 'em up action film with vampires.
Oh, cool.
Well, I guess they're kind of like vampires. I don't know what the hell they are, but you'll see when you see it.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I want to see that.
Yeah, it's actually out free, I think, on Prime and everything. That guy, the director, his name is William Kaufman. He does a lot of kick-ass movies.
Okay.
So, Will, if you hear this, please hire me for something else.
Yeah. Please hire him. He loves you.
Yeah. Fucking actors, man. We're always dying to work. As soon as one movie's over, we're like, please hire me again.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's probably hard right now because
right? It's kind of like a drug.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it totally
very hard. Like I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's scary as shit because I just want to get back to work and doing something again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we're all just sitting in limbo going, is it ever going to start up again? We don't know.
Fuck. No kidding. And it's like every day there's something new. So it's like, when is anything going to go back to normal?
I guess after the election, I don't know.
We got a ways to go then. It's only June.
Yeah, I know. It fucking sucks. I'm like, what else is happening? I don't.
Knock on wood.
Glass or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to.
Like, wait a minute. Don't say that.
This isn't a real gun, by the way, if it's on camera.
So you say.
This is a pop toy gun that we use for our auditions.
Nice.
And not a real grenade either, by the way. People give me all this shit, man. Can you imagine if the cops came in? They're like, this guy's got guns, grenades, and I got a Tommy gun in the other room. This guy gave me a Tommy gun because my production company's Movie Mafia Productions. So
cool.
I got this mounted Tommy gun. So I was like, great. Can you just imagine them coming in and like, this guy's got fucking Tommy guns, grenades, kill him.
Yeah, they won't even ask questions. They'll just shoot.
That would suck. Well, they have beat on my door a few times, and I went to the door and said, hey, is there a problem? They're like, well, we just heard like there was a lot of yelling going on. I'm like, well, we're auditioning for movies and television shows. They're like, yeah, right. I'm like, you can come in and watch if you want.
Oh, geez. So is it at your house, or do you have a business somewhere where you do it?
I have a 2-bedroom apartment, and we use this bedroom only for auditions.
Oh, so people can hear you through the walls.
Yeah, and the reason I don't do it at a business is because you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars in production equipment, and who the hell is just going to leave that at some random place?
Yeah, fuck no. And
I also work till 4 or 5 in the morning most nights working with actors because a lot of them are bartenders or waiters.
Oh, geez.
So, like Billy, for instance, there's sometimes if he's bartending, he may not get out of work till 3, so he can show up over here at 4 in the morning.
Oh my gosh. How do you sleep? When do you sleep?
Well, I have a weird
I don't.
Like, I go to bed like at 7 or 8 in the morning most nights and then wake up around 1 or 2 in the afternoon, if I'm lucky. But there's those times where you lay down at like 6 or 7 and you got to be back up at 10. So it sucks.
Yeah. Fuck that.
But that's the show business. You don't know. I mean, you don't know. I'm on call for some jobs, so I don't really know. I guess all the jobs are really on call because I have to just answer my phone. I don't know if it's going to be an actor or a production company, or if I need to go, because I also cover some news stories for like CBS that appear on CBS News and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know necessarily when those are going to work, but those are more like covering local businesses and stuff like restaurants and stuff like that. So it's not so much covering like the protests or anything like that. Thankfully, I'm not.
Yeah, don't want to do that.
Meaning, I don't want to. I have no problem against people protesting. I just don't want to be out there in case a riot breaks out or people start getting violent. I don't want to be out there with all my gear trying to film all that. Yeah,
hell no, because your shit gets ruined and won't get replaced.
Right. Yeah, who's going to replace it? That shit's crazy right now. I don't understand what's going on. It's like it's so many different groups of people that are at the protest. You don't know who's who.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
or what their agenda is, because there's just so many different people.
Yep. It's
You got the
fucking
peaceful
scary.
protesters, which are cool, but then you might
Mhm.
have this other group over here who has a totally different agenda and just wants to fucking shoot you. I mean, you don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing.
And they're all covered, so you're not going to know. You'll never find them.
They have found some, though. I don't know how the hell they're finding them. It's like they can recognize them just with their eyes, and if they show a little bit of their nose,
You're
they're
like an
able to
eye
capture
expert.
something. Like they got these lawyers who would actually blew up some police cars with the Molotov cocktail things.
Whoa.
They were able to catch some of those, and they were all women, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Weird. It's like, yeah, these women were lawyers, and they're like, oh, we're going to go blow up some fucking cop cars. I was like, okay.
Holy shit. And that's where you're at? Is that where you're at?
No. No, I'm near Dallas. I don't think that's happened here. There was a guy that was running around chasing people with a machete, though, and he got his ass beat.
Oh my God.
Did you see that one?
No.
I'll see if I can find it and send it to you. It's crazy, though. This guy, I don't even know if he owned the place he was trying to protect. I think he was just someone who frequented the bar or something, and he was like chasing people. And in like 15 seconds flat, it looked like they murdered his ass.
Holy shit.
But the rumor is he's alive, but he didn't look alive. I mean, he looked.
He didn't look
When they
alive.
got done with him in like 15 seconds flat, like 10 or 12 people just beat his ass and hit him with rocks and kicked him in the head. I mean, he just looked terrible.
Oh my God. They're like piranhas.
It's crazy shit going on, man. I don't know what. Well, we went out one day. We were going to go hiking outside my complex. We were going to drive out of here to go like an hour away to go hiking. And as we were getting in the car to leave, our entire neighborhood filled up with peaceful protesters. So we went and checked it out.
I think I saw that picture. Mm-hmm.
So that situation was great. And the weird thing was that the cops, no police officers had masks or gloves or anything on.
Weird how that works, right?
So, yeah, if you're a police officer, you are protected from COVID-19.
Yeah, totally. Fuck, it's just, oh my God, it's insane.
The whole COVID-19 is it's the weirdest thing ever. I feel like we're in a horror movie every day. I was telling Billy, I was like, because in Cherokee Creek, we talk a little bit about Switchblade, and the whole thing with Switchblade, it's kind of based on what's happening today in our world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Switchblade came to life.
It's your guys' fault. You
so
jinxed
I'm like,
it.
oh my God. I said, I guess we'll just wait and see what happens with all this, because it's Switchblade coming to life. So hopefully it doesn't end the way Switchblade does.
Oh shit. Rewrite it real quick and then we'll be good.
I haven't wrote it though. I have the story in my head, but I haven't put it all to paper yet. Because like I said, I'm not someone who wants to spend all my time writing, because that's just not my thing. Mm-hmm. I think I have too much ADD to just be still and write all the time.
Yeah. Well, it takes a lot of time.
It can. Like, I got very, very lucky with Cherokee Creek. The story, I sat on the story for probably a year, and like every time I would be out and about or at the gym, or if I was on the treadmill or anything, like an idea would pop in my head. And that happened all the way through shooting. Like, so when people ask me if I want to do another movie, I'm like, that story lives with you for like the rest of your life, and especially while you're doing it, no matter what you're doing. Like, you could be at dinner with your wife, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I got a note. I have to sit to myself.
Yep, exactly.
Which I know is very, very annoying for them.
Well, maybe sometimes, but when they know that that's what you're doing and that's your business, I think people understand. I mean, your wife is like by your side through all of it. No?
No, they don't.
They're like, you rude fucking asshole.
I understand. I get it, because we're never like really present. Like, actors and filmmakers are never really present like they should be when they're out with their friends or family, because you don't know when something's going to come through. You could literally be at dinner in a conversation, and your agent says, hey, you got to audition for Steven Spielberg's movie tomorrow. We need you to put it on tape in the next hour. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you just have to leave.
You're like, sorry.
That's kind of how it worked with Infamous, actually. We were out and about when that second audition came in, and we had family in town and everything that we were doing stuff with. And I had to go tell everybody bye, and I brought my wife home with me, and she actually helped me on that one. Most of the time, I'll have to grab a different friend, but on that one, she just did an amazing job helping me. Mm-hmm. And we did it, we sent it off, and then we left again, and then they said, hey, we want you to do a totally different take on the character. We want to see you do it 2 different ways. And I was like, oh. So then I went back home again, did it again.
Oh,
So
geez.
I really auditioned like 3 times, I guess. 3 times for the movie, not knowing if I was ever going to get anything. But
But you
I
got
think the
it.
most I've ever auditioned for a movie was like 7 or 8 times.
Holy shit,
Thank
really?
God, yes. I auditioned for Magnificent Seven, I think 7 or 8 times.
Damn.
I wanted to be in that movie so bad. Like several of the parts that I auditioned for are in the movie, and they're really cool. I was like, man, I would have loved to have had that one. And then there's the ones I can't talk about that were huge movies and TV shows that would have hopefully skyrocketed my career, that I thought they were gonna, and then they pulled the trigger at the last minute and said, no, we're not using you.
Mm-hmm. That happens a lot. It's
The
like
first time you get that call though, man, you can't handle it. You can't handle a call like that. You can't handle it when you get hired, and you definitely can't hire it when you get let go.
Yeah. Well, it's
Because
like
one of the projects I think I got called on was a Marvel one. It was a really good part in a Marvel movie.
Oh man.
If I recall, I don't remember which one. Well, I do, but I can't tell you.
You're like,
we have to sign NDAs on everything.
yeah, you're like, fuck them anyways.
It was some kind of Marvel movie.
God,
No,
yeah.
I'm not ever going to say that. There's going to be more Marvel movies.
Yeah, those aren't ever going to end. It's like,
but this was a really cool Marvel movie, and it was a really cool role, you know. And it's going to be painful to the day I die.
You're like, I'm never forgetting that. I'm traumatized. Oh man. But
I am. Every time I see the fucking movie, I go,
you're like, I could have done that better, damn it.
I guarantee even the A-list actors are the same way. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
You got to be competitive if you're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You got to want it. You're going to have to fight for anything that you want. So of course you should be a little pissed off if at the last minute, you know, at the 11th hour, you get shit canned or they go with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was thinking about that with like the Back to the Future thing. Can you imagine Eric Stoltz when he got fired after filming almost the entire movie?
I didn't know that happened. Back to the Future?
Yeah. If you look up the story of Back to the Future, they had filmed the entire thing almost with Eric Stoltz. And then they fired him and brought in Michael J. Fox to do the whole thing again.
I did not know that. Oh,
Yep.
that would suck. I'd be so pissed. There's
all kinds of stories like that in the industry. There's tons of stories like that.
Damn.
Did you ever hear that Magnum PI, Tom Selleck, was supposed to be Indiana Jones?
No.
Yep. He was Indiana Jones, and then at the 11th hour, he couldn't get out of his contract of Magnum PI, so they're like, screw it, just go with this guy.
And Harrison Ford, right?
Yep. Harrison Ford was not the number one choice. I mean, who knows where he was on the list?
Yeah. Damn, no, I didn't know that
Usually
either.
if you get cast as a lead in a major movie, it's an accidental thing most of the time. It's usually because their first 5 choices fell through or something. Meaning if it's a no-name actor. At least it was back then. Because Harrison Ford wasn't that big when he got Indiana Jones. He wasn't that well known.
No, he wasn't. Damn.
But he definitely is today.
Fuck yeah, he is. Freaking damn millionaire. Don't we all want that? We will be there one day.
I hope so.
Me too. It's like, man, I'm trying.
I thought for sure Cherokee Creek was going to put me there. I was like, at worst, it'll make $250,000, and I'll at least be able to get a car and put a down payment on a house.
Yeah.
Because I bet everything on the movie. I was like, I just kept putting everything I had into it, everything I had. And I thought, and it was doing very well. We'll never know how well it did because they stole everything, but I think it was doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Back when it was when it first came out on iTunes and Amazon and all that. I'd be interested to find out what the real numbers were.
No, because then you'll be
But
sad
I'm sure
that
they
you
were
didn't
well
get that
over.
money.
I'm sure it grossed well.
Shit. Well.
Oh yeah, it pisses me off, and it's even worse that the legal system protects people like that.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, look at what's happening today. I mean, and the legal system's not doing shit to anybody. So
no, I agree.
Unless you believe in vigilante justice, you're not going to get any justice right now, which sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it's true, right? I mean, what are you supposed to do? Can you imagine if someone just came up and blew up your fucking business right now? I'd be so fucking pissed.
Fuck yeah. I would too. Well, and at my work, it's funny. It's not funny, but my boss was going to do like pavers kind of going around the business. And so he has this big pallet of fucking pavers outside. And then that was right before the riot started. I'm like, people are going to think you fucking put those there for rioters. You left them outside. People are going to think like, oh, he's one of those ones that put them outside. But we don't have the riots here because we shoot.
Well, you better get that shit out of here.
Mm-hmm. But it's like we all carry guns.
It looks like.
All right, so now we're at the end of the show where you can
who cares?
where you can let everybody know where to find you on Find Your Movies and what movie to check out that you just did, Infamous. So go ahead and let everybody know.
Cool. All right. Well, you can find Todd Jenkins, me, on Facebook and Instagram. And you can find the movie Cherokee Creek on Facebook and Instagram also. Cherokee Creek is available on Amazon for 99 cents to rent, $4.99 to own on digital and HD. If you prefer physical media like I do and most people do, you can get the Blu-ray from Screen Team Releasing. I think it might still be on sale for $14.99. If not, it's regular $19.99. But
which isn't bad and it's worth it.
It's totally worth it. And get it from Screen Team Releasing. Do not buy it from Amazon. Mm-hmm. Amazon's going to charge you more money and they're going to take more money from us. So Screen Team Releasing is the best way to buy the movie. Currently, I'm in the movie Infamous, starring Bella Thorne, directed by Joshua Caldwell. Also, Jake Manley is in it, and myself. You'll also see Billy Blair in it from Cherokee Creek as well. That is at, hopefully, your local drive-in theater or nearby at a drive-in theater. And it's also available on all the VOD platforms, including iTunes, Amazon, Vudu, Google Play, I believe, and Fandango, I think. So just about everywhere you can see that one.
Totally worth it.
It's an awesome shoot 'em up movie about what happened. What's that?
I said totally worth it. It was really good.
It's about Bella Thorne's character is obsessed with social media, and she takes things a little too far to get followers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got.
All right. So
and
thank
this
you.
Is mineral water, by the way. I'm not drinking it today.
Like vodka, whatever. Start early.
Yeah, I wish.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. It's been a lot of fun as always. And I will definitely want to get you back on here soon and talk some more about your stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a blast and we appreciate all your support. And without people like you, we would not be able to do this at all. So thank you for everything that you do for us.
You're welcome. And I will talk to you soon.
Awesome.
All right. Bye.